Dual agency, also called multiple representation, happens when a single real estate agent, or two agents from the same brokerage, represents both the buyer and the seller in a real estate transaction. Across Canada, each province handles dual agency differently. Some provinces allow it under certain circumstances, while others forbid it altogether. Keep watching for info about a few of them. British Columbia. British Columbia prohibited dual agency in 2018. However, there is an exception that real estate professionals may use in certain situations. The exemption allows real estate agents to give dual representation to clients in remote and underserved areas where it's impossible for them to be represented by different real estate professionals. Before they can use the dual agency exception, agents must have their clients sign a disclosure form. They must also acknowledge that taking the role of a dual agent in a transaction restricts the services they can provide to the parties involved. Ontario. Ontario recognizes dual agency with the name of multiple representation. Before entering into an agreement of this nature, real estate professionals in Toronto are required to satisfy several conditions. Agents or brokers must describe the services available to purchasers and sellers, and inform both parties about the possibility of multiple representation. They should also make clear that they can only represent multiple clients in a transaction if all the parts sign a consent. Like British Columbia, Ontario is considering limiting dual agency by imposing bigger fines to unethical agents. Alberta. In Alberta, a dual agency is called a designated agency. In a designated agency situation, the buyer and seller may be represented by the same brokerage firm. However, each party must deal with their own agent, and they shouldn't share the same geographical location. Alberta also permits the transaction brokerage service, in which a brokerage or real estate professional serves the buyer and the seller in a transaction without advocating for either party. Manitoba. In Manitoba, what's called joint representation can only occur if both parties are aware of its impact on the process and sign a written consent to move forward. The buyer and the seller must sign an acknowledgement of limited joint representation. That acknowledgement will state the agreed parameters of the agency as well as any limitations. These are obviously just a handful of the Canadian provinces. For a full breakdown of the others, visit our site today. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.